April 18th, 1989. Enemy amphibious task forces have been detected moving south along the Pacific coastline, and satellite reconnaissance now confirms a major landing attempt is targeting the Bay Area. Soviet surface ships are escorting a mixed convoy of amphibious landing ships and support vessels. This is the first coordinated enemy strike on the continental United States, and the stakes couldn't be higher. A strike group is tasked with intercepting the invasion force before it reaches launch area for landing operations. The area is heavily contested. Shore-based radar and SAM sites along the coast are online, and the California Air National Guard units are on standby to assist. The objective for this mission is simple: prevent the Soviet landing. As optional objectives, we can destroy the USSR surface escort group and their submarines, which are hidden somewhere in the area. Welcome to mission number 5, Red Tide. So, time is upon us to prevent an amphibious invasion force. Once more, I'd say, during this scenario, because we've already had it happen once before. Yet, these times, the Soviets are not targeting the Aleutians, they're targeting the West Coast directly. So, to that end, we have been issued the USS Enterprise, as well as her escorts, the Lake Champlain, the Rennes, the Fife, and the Monterey, and we are there to stop a Soviet invasion force. We also have access to USS San Francisco. I'm going to tell this submarine to go all stop, because I want to listen in on everything that's out there, and I suspect this might already be a pretty good candidate. A landing is expected here, and we do have some surface-to-air sites available, but its capabilities are fairly limited. It's firing a Hawk out to about 19 miles. It's okay, but I have better assets to make something work before that. There are a couple of merchants which appear to be leaving the area in a hurry. Unfortunately for me, these are not the armed merchants that I had in one of the workshop versions. So, unfortunately, I won't actually be able to use these to shoot shit. Let's have a look at what these things are. E3A might be able to chat them up and ask them kindly what they are. We got one refusing to comply. See, there's lots of contacts going about. Most of these are probably harmless. Merchant. I'm assuming 7008's a merchant as well. I don't know what that is exactly. Oh, it's an airliner. See, this strikes me as a Soviet formation, which means the San Francisco is right in the path. She's gonna have her work cut out for her. She comes equipped with 12 Mark 48 Mod 6, as well as a couple of anti-ship Tomahawks. No, these are land attackers. I'm not sure why it says ASM, but it's not. It's a TLAM. It's a land attacker. So we actually get access to 16 weapons aboard this platform. Also airborne, at least one aircraft. I suspect that's their airborne early warning, so we're going to shoot that down. Now, we have Naval Air Station Alameda over here. And Alameda is able to launch a couple of aircraft, but not much. I'm going to tell them to go with a full strike loadout into ship heavy, so we're going to send 24 harpoons up there. Let's make it 2 flights of 3 to make it easier to manage. There we go. We can also send up a P3. I don't like the P3 much, especially not in an anti-ship role because it's dead slow, but in anti-submarine warfare it is very valuable. So I'm going to launch both. S3As and SH3s, nah. Not right now. I already have the P3s, so I don't need Vikings. But I do need additional aircraft from Enterprise. Enterprise is going to have to send her Tomcats up there. We're going to go air-to-air intercept, giving me 4 AIM-54 Phoenix missiles. I'm going to send 3 flights of 2, because I'm also expecting a bunch of bombers to join the fight. First objective should be to take out 7020. And then we're going to go after, well, whatever other aerial contact we can find. Now comes the important question. To MCON or not to MCON? There is something to be said for going quiet. Because turning your radars on immediately gives the enemy your location, which is definitely not what I would like to have happen. The problem is, if I don't actually have the radars active on, for example, the Lake Champlain, I will not be able to detect incoming strikes. Yes, I have my E3A, but it's fairly far away. It's 85 miles out. Let's push it slightly closer. And let's also launch an E2C from Enterprise. Because I want to get a bit more information if I can. This could keep me offline with the radar. Already confirmed as a hostile warship. What are we getting? Udaloy. Large return. Very large return. Oh, great. It's a Kirov. It's the Andropov, the Drudzinski, the Franze, the Piotr Veliki. These are all versions of Kirov. Okay, well, the Kirovs are difficult, if not flat out impossible to kill, if you're using missiles. If you're using torpedoes, well, that's an entirely different story. Because we already have, in a previous video, eliminated a Kirov in exactly that manner. So I'm not too concerned about that. Let's plot their course. They're going to be on top of the San Francisco in about 2 hours. 19.2 is what they're actually doing there. So in 2 hours, they're going to be on top of the San Francisco, which is fine. We need to have the towed away out 5 miles. Okay, fine. Otis 1. We're going to push west. Can you talk to this thing? Refuses to comply. I don't like that. Could be a fishing boat. Could be an Okean. If it's an Okean, we have different issues that we need to be concerning ourselves with, because that means it might not actually be as harmless as it looks. So I'm going to launch a helicopter and investigate it. It's just going to be a standard ASW. I can launch an anti-ship, but I got plenty of anti-ship weapons here. And if it is, in fact, what I think it is, which is just a fishing unit, I can then use the helicopter to go fishing for something else. I can go looking for trouble. I can go looking for submarines, because supposedly there are a few. Boomer 1. Stand by. We're going to go 6,000 feet. Link up there. I've got the rest of the boomers taking off. Boomer 4. Once you're up there, get there. 7012 classified neutral merchant. That's the guy over here. Okay, not a problem. I think he just got visualed by Boomer 1 here. Right. So, we got Otis 1 up. Otis 3. Investigate. Agrees to comply. Airliner. Does not respond. Go to 37. I'm going to set a no-fly zone of about 19 miles around Kirov, because I do fear these things and their capabilities. 90 miles. That's where my Tomcats cannot go. I suspect this is the line of landing ships. Yeah, that's a nice column you got there. Okay. Otis 5. Go up. Send another formation up. Actually, we're gonna rush our way south first. I really have absolutely no inclination of putting an aircraft carrier at risk here if I don't absolutely have to. So I'm not going to do that. 7026 classified hostile air. Which is where? Oh, it's an interceptor. It's a MiG. Okay. I wonder what you're doing all the way out there. Anyway, the aircraft carrier will try and turn against the wind in order to launch her aircraft. So what I'm going to do is turn her away, get some distance, and then I can occasionally turn into the enemy targets. Height 500 feet. I'm going to classify this guy as hostile. Civilian aircraft don't typically fly at 500 feet. Not in this game. And we'll just start shooting first and asking questions later. Enjoy. Alright, that airliner can pass. How are the aircraft doing up here? We got boomers 1, 2, and 3 up. Boomer 4 standing by for takeoff. E3A almost in position. Good. The E2, Banger 1. I'm going to tell you to take up position south. We're going to go to 30,000. Turn the radar on when you get there. The problem with Olympia over here is that I don't really know where to take her. These are supposedly merchants, so I don't consider them to be a threat. The question is, why is Olympia here? Why are you here? Because there is not really anything for me to do. I cannot engage them with the harpoons because they're out of range. I suspect there might be trouble around somewhere. Tell me exactly what that is. Thank you. I was wondering why the hell there was an air contact going for my E3A. Thankfully it's just an airliner. Could have been something else. Helo. Go investigate. Otis, actually you're there. Give me a VID. Tell me what that is. 5 miles out. 7-1... Yeah, they're popping helicopters again. Oh, it's a large train of units. Okay. Interesting.
Roger, turn. 089.
If this is an Okean, I will blow it out of the water very, very, very quickly. The thing is, by then, I will probably already be seeing missiles. 2.7 miles out. I've seen pilots identify stuff at 80 miles out visually. Where the hell is this ship? We're supposedly almost over the ship. We're slightly southwest, so we need to be looking right around there. Is that it?
New air contact detected.
Huh?
Roger, turn.
What are you? There you are. Fishing vessel.
701.
Fishing vessel might be wondering why the hell an F-14 is coming to investigate it. But the answer is pretty easy. If you just talk to me when I ask you to, I don't have to actually threaten you.
7000.
Lots of helicopters about. That's not good news for my submarine there. Oh, you went for the chaff? You didn't. It's a very low-flying bird. It's an IL-38. Naval patrol aircraft. No idea what it's doing so low. There's no business being there as far as I'm concerned. Alright, you're almost approaching the bubble of AA. Don't go there. Where would they have submarines in this scenario? Where would they have submarines? Where would I have submarines? If I was the scenario creator here, I would have a vanguard of submarines. So I would potentially have a submarine like here and there. The helicopter is flying low above the horizon, so I should be able to get in there safely. P3 can potentially help out. Let's get you over to 3,000 feet. You guys got longevity for days, so we'll be fine. Next P3. What's the range from the Kalinin to the Rogov? About 11 miles. Okay. So that makes it a bit more difficult to engage them. However, not impossible. I can use these guys to this time actually sea skim from about here and start throwing the missiles at the landing ships. So we're going to start sending the boomers that way. Get up, go to 3,000, but no higher than that. There's no real reason to attract any undue attention. This is their radar bird, right? Yep, IL-38 or TU-142 maritime patroller. Why isn't this guy? There's another MiG out there. Why are they all activating their radar? Doesn't this thing have its own radar? Makes no sense. Alright, anyway, let's start laying a couple of buoys here to confirm or deny my suspicion. And also to put up a little bit of a sonobuoy wall for potential submarines that might want to sneak through. I'm just going to keep you perfectly stationary and wait for the Kalinin to get here. In the meanwhile, we can also send up a strike team from Enterprise. I am not intent on striking the enemy's position directly, because the Kalinin is going to knock every missile out of the sky. A seed strike normally would work. The problem this time around is that typically it does not work, because the enemy is going to shoot you down before you even get there. Unless you throw an EA-6B up. The EA-6B is going to escort the strike package here. That's the boomers. So I'm intending to do electronic warfare against these landing ships and make their attempts at intercepting my missiles more difficult. As for the rest, A7s can be used in a direct strike role, but unfortunately they don't exactly have anything that's going to be useful against ships. So for that we'll have to use the A6. The S3s can also do some anti-ship warfare, but they only get 2 harpoons, whereas the A6E gets 4. So I want to launch a couple more of those packages. 1, 2, 3. I still find it pretty amazing that the aircraft carrier is actually a lot more efficient at launching aircraft than a regular airfield is. Normally, I would expect the airfield to be a bit more efficient at it, but okay. Alright, let's turn the air and surface search on. Get even more information as we can. You're almost in range to shoot these guys out of the sky. Let's get you some altitude.
Roger, go to altitude 10.
Otis 3, you're playing a dangerous game here, dude.
Turn 169.
I can start popping helicopters again. If I want to do that, I'm first going to take a bit of a runner-up so that I can fly directly at the Kalinin without having to risk getting shot down.
011.
Now, considering that the Olympia is over there, there might also be a submarine like here and there. This, from a player perspective, would also make sense because that's where I would want to run the Enterprise off to. So this one P3 that I have is going to investigate that for me.
Roger, turn 2.
And the other P3 is going to join that fight.
Roger, turn 2, 3.
So you're going to intermittently drop buoys. I'm going to do this manually just because I want to get a bit of a better handle on it.
Track 70.
So that's 1, and the other P3 is going to drop around the other buoys. Around the other marker.
Turn 2, 5.
It'll take them a while to get there though. 20 minutes. Okay, Magic 1. That is my electronic warfare bird. You're going to move northeast. I want the other E6 up, or sorry, EA6 up as well, because I want to have the capability of deploying electronic warfare against incoming missiles. Now, some of these ships have that capability already, so I might be making too much noise electronically, but I'd rather have too much than lose a cruiser, as I did in the previous video, because I simply forgot to turn on the ECM. We're pretty much in range, yes? 5 miles out. Let's knock out that IL-38. Otis 3, come around. Lizard 1-1 says on station. That's my first strike package. I can try flying all the way around Kalinin and her defenses. It's going to be a bit of a trek. 10,000 feet. Lizard 4. Make your way there. 10,000 feet. Otis. Prepare to throw a missile against the IL-38. Otis 3. Missile. Target. K-27PL. Execute. Okay. We've got enough of a radar band to engage both. Now I need you to loiter. Don't rush in. Ideally, I would also use Otis 1 here to engage that MiG-25, but I'm worried that it's going to be a bit too far out of arc. Let's hope I'm wrong about that. Oh, what's that? What is that? Otis 5, I got a job for you. Floor it. What are we expecting here? Yeah, Tu-22s. Okay, high priority target. That means I would typically tell Otis 1 to go after them as well, but they're currently guiding missiles in. Arguably, they're going after a very important target here, because once the IL-38's dead, they're going to have less opportunity to detect my strike package here, my task force. So, hopefully, with the IL-38 gone, I won't even have to worry about missiles coming my way. Okay, you are Lizard 7. Lizard 7, move 10,000 feet up. Otis 3 is loitering at 240 knots. Engaging various contacts with firepower. Okay, good. How many birds are we looking at here? 4? I can stop 4 with 2 F-14s, no problem. Not a problem. Alright. Range, 30 miles. Kalinin, still doing 19 miles. Per hour, that is, 19 knots. Okay, let's see how these missiles do. I'm mostly clearing up the skies because I can, not because I really have to. Although, San Francisco might have a slightly different opinion on that. Are you below the layer? No, you are not. Go down. Where are you going? At 1,277 knots. Dude, you're burning a ton of fuel. I suspect he's going to intercept either the boomers or the E-3A. Interesting choice. Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward that thing needs to die mission, because an E-3A is a very high value target. Still, are you sure you want to risk flying over my task force in order to get there? Hello, Mig. Oh, you went for the decoy. And you did too? That's unfortunate. No, both went for the decoy. Can we shoot this helicopter at least? Yeah, you're done for. Goodbye. Okay. This thing is getting awfully dangerously close. Can we shoot it down with the Lake Champlain? We can. Execute. This means I don't have to risk Otis here. Nope, this way. Capabilities, 32 miles. 32 miles. You can touch me. 5 miles. Missiles against the IL-38 looking pretty good. IL-38's popped flares. One missile is not interested, and the other one is. Unfortunately for you, that's the end of the road. Now, let's get the other one eliminated. I need to eliminate this interceptor before it actually does its job and intercepts my birds. I don't like the position of this helicopter much, because it's only 8 miles away from San Francisco. I'm gonna knock it out of the sky. Engage. I'm gonna send up another replacement F-14 Duo. Air to air long range, confirm. Okay, Otis 5. At 1,335 knots. Estimated time of arrival, about 9 minutes to a position from where we can probably intercept those birds. RM-66 going into the MiG-25. The problem is, though, that the Otis flight here is getting a little close. 29 miles. They are probably detected. They're probably in range. Turn your air search on. Can we get an AIM-7 guiding as well? No, because we're talking to the missile. It's unfortunate. Let's hope that this missile gets that MiG-25. I probably should have sent 2. So that once they start popping flares or chaff, the next missile is going to get them anyway. That's another helo. So far I'm pretty happy, pretty satisfied about the way that this mission is starting up. Yeah, you're not going to get that. Good. Okay, well done, Otis 3. Now get the hell out after you nail that helicopter. San Francisco, 29 miles. Boomers 1 and 4 moving into position. Magic 1 covering. Whoa, we can jam all that way? That's interesting. Okay, we got the MiG-25 here. Excellent. You guys only carry one more missile. But it's better than nothing, so let's make use of it. Meanwhile, we got the next Otis flight coming off the deck right about now. Otis 7, welcome to the skies. Got a potential job for you, depending on how well your brethren do. Even the helicopter's getting jammed. I guess you're jamming and counter-jamming. I've got your burn through, because I'm tempted to just throw a lot of missiles at Kalinin. Normally, if you just throw Kalinin a bunch of missiles and it's not jammed, it doesn't really care. In this situation, it might go through because it's getting jammed. Whoa, boys, you're moving way too fast here. You're moving right into the range of that bird. Oh, you're not losing connection now, are you? Yeah, you are. Hopefully they can make that last bit of the trek alone. Yeah, you can. Good night. Okay, Otis, get out. This is when I do want you to go to cruise speed. Good. Okay, so that's a couple of helicopters down, a couple of MiGs down, and we have shot down their airborne early warning. Now we're going to move at best speed towards these incoming bombers. And with our combined speed, we're approaching them quickly. About a mile a second. Okay. Banger 1 is still not finding any missiles. That is a good situation to be in. We got Lizards 1, 4, and 7 pushing through. Yeah, I'm just going to go for a strike on all of these ships here. Because we need to take out the landing ships, not so much the escorts. The escorts are a bonus, but the landing ships are the real prize. The challenge will be to get these things close enough, because they only have a range of... Oh, actually, they've got a range of 120. So I can stay outside of that 90-mile no-fly zone. That's good. That's really good. If I want to do that with Boomers 1 and 4, they'll have to go all the way to the other side. Because I have shown that if you drop them over land, they will try to sea-skim over land, which typically doesn't work out too well. Now, as you can see, there's plenty more to do, so this is where I'm going to leave you for this first part of this mission. Thank you for watching, hope you've enjoyed, and I shall see you soon for the next part. That is, unless you're a member, in which case you can watch the next video right away. Thank you for watching, I'll see you soon for the next part.